What's up, folks? What's up? Random BS live in this bitch. Another episode. Another episode. Random BS live, which is cool. So that works out. That works out perfect. I'm gonna talk about the TSA workers. They absentee percentages up to 10%. So I mean more people is deciding to not go to work, which we know if you ain't making no money and you ain't getting paid, you know, transportation costs money. You know, whether you got your personal or public, that still costs money. And you know, you got to start cutting back somewhere. And a lot of other government workers that's going to work getting paid, y'all should stay at home too. And more government workers need to stay at home. Let Delta and Southwest and let them CEOs go in there and screen passengers. You know, they still making money. What's up? What's up, Mr. X? What's going on, man? Just sitting up here talking about these TSA workers. Say absentee rate has went up to 10%. They won't. The government won't. They not releasing how many the actual numbers, how many workers it is that's calling off, but it's up to 10% compared to 3.1. So I say they should stay at home, and other workers should too. You know, why waste your resources? You're not making no money. You know, let the government know you're not a highly trained slave, because that's how they looking at it. They don't give a fuck about them workers. Shit. You know, you got the Democrats. They control the House of Representatives and that leadership. Since Trump been in office, all they did was resist and go against Trump. And then you got Trump, which he ignorant anyway. So, and he ain't gonna bow down to them just out of ignorance alone. So, you know, that government's gonna stay closed. The only way you can get them suckers to the negotiation table is, you know, if the government's on shutdown, then just shut the whole thing down. Don't go to work. Stay at home. I would, you know, get with like-minded people and try to figure a way out, figure a way to make it through it until it's over with. You know, as long as they go to work and do their job, shit, ain't no point in hurrying up to get them a paycheck. You right? Yeah, you know, they just think the American public are highly trained slaves, and it's bullshit. But you know, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, and them government workers, fuck that shit. Stay your ass at home. You know, do something else. Try to make a little money on the side. And if the security at the airports collapse, let it collapse. You know, Southwest, Delta, what United Way, all them airlines, they got money. Let them hire some people to go in there and do the job. Then, if they can't get the TSA workers to do it because they ain't getting paid, I wouldn't give a shit. If I was working for TSA, I wouldn't go to work. I call off every day. Like I'm sick of not getting paid. You know, if you can go to work and do your job and give them what they asking for, man, they don't care about them government workers. They do not care about them government workers at all. They can care less. They doing exactly what they were told to do by they corporate masters. Period. While they got the government shut down, they ain't worried about the workers. They more focused on how they can gut social programs. That's always their main priority, is how we can find a way, no matter what the situation is. They always try to look for a way to cut social programs, no matter what kind of crap the U.S. is dealing with at whatever time it is. It don't even matter. They just try to, well, while we going through this, they just gut social programs. They do it all the time. and they gonna use this. And then after they finish gutting whatever they gonna gut, then they'll bring everybody back to work, and it'll be all kumbaya and everything else. And behind closed doors, Trump and Pelosi will be, hugging, giving each other kisses, all that bullshit. It's not like he didn't endorse her when she was running for Speaker of the House again. He endorsed her. And for some odd reason, I think he was actually being honest when he endorsed her. I really do. Because Trump's ignorant like that. But this is the government that the people elected. I mean, we are partly at fault of this because we have sat around and let this stuff fester for decades. And now, the fruits of that process is now ripe for the pickings, and they finna go ham on the American citizen. They gonna just go and finish us off, take whatever little resources we got. We we do need a revolution, but I don't think the American people even got the will to fight. I really don't. I think they have been so propagandized. No, Trump ain't no better. Trump is not no better, but when it was time to choose, look who they had to choose from. I mean, like, it's not like the American people had a option. I mean, it was either Trump or Hillary. That's not a hard decision to make. It really isn't. If it's Trump or Hillary, you're gonna go with Trump, and that's what happened. Because a lot of people didn't like Hillary Clinton. They knew she was a crook and all that stuff, and Trump ran to the left of her anyway on everything, on policies, everything. Even though we knew he was lying, but he still ran to the left. I did too. I voted for Jill Stein in 2016, and then when it came down, when the elections that just passed in November, I just wrote my son in. Because in Missouri, you can just write people's name in anyway. So I just wrote my son's name in. I was like, the hell with this. I know some people have, like, really opted out of even going to vote. I say you should still go and vote. I mean, you ain't got to vote for one of these political candidates, but it's amendments and propositions. You might have to hit your refresh button. I've been having some issues with the internet. Hopefully we can get that resolved. Seems like they like to play games sometimes. But it's propositions and amendments on them voting ballots that will cost you money if you don't go in and vote. That's why they like when they like that low voter turnout, because they can sneak that stuff on them ballots. It passed because the people didn't go in and vote, and then next thing you know, your taxes going up, and you ain't getting no service or goods in return for those taxes, but your taxes going up. School's still poor. It's just sometimes I just feel like people just like giving away their resources, and that now we're getting to a moment to where every piece of resource is critical. People ain't got shit. People ain't got shit at all, and it's crazy. But I don't vote for no Democrat or Republican. I'm done with them. I'm done with that whole thing. Period. Because I already know they don't work on behalf of the American people. But I'm glad to see that more TSA workers are calling off and stay home. Stay home. Yeah, it's pointless. It's pointless to mess with the Democrats, but they all corrupt. They ain't gonna do nothing. Do nothing for nobody but the people that contribute to their campaign. And they already know that the average American don't have no money to contribute to their campaign. They is not working on behalf of the American people. That's why we in this shit now. What they doing, in my eyes, is treason. But it seems like it's treason to me. They have to throw our ass in jail for some of the little basic, simple shit. But these motherfuckers are literally taking bribes and then enacting policies that directly affect American people. That sounds like treason to me. Maybe I could be wrong. I'm not I'm not sure, but that's what it sounded like to me. Yeah, I opted out. Once I seen what was going on when Obama was president and wasn't shit changing, and then in 2016 when they cheated Bernie, I was like, oh, this is how they getting down. I was done. I already knew Republicans were corporate whores. They never held no bones about that. They always were proud to go out there and say that they were corporate whores. But when I seen the Democrats start blatantly doing that stuff too, it's like, and I started looking into it. Yep, yep. But at this point, how many people can you actually get trying to explain this stuff to some of these people, then you start telling them the measures that will have to be taken. They look at you like you crazy, but then they be the first ones complaining when shit ain't going their way. You tell them, okay, if we got to do A, B, and C, so we can get to D and E, and they don't have the stomach or the will, the motivation to fight or anything. They don't want to do that. Yeah, you got to get the money out of there, but how? The question is how you get that money out of there, because on this pace in this current system, the money they ain't getting rid of that. Even if you overturn Citizens United, I don't get that money in there. They already doing stuff blatant anyway. They probably just flat out just take the money. Somebody just show up with a suitcase full of cash and give it to them. I think they feel like the American people has been that much propagandized that shit. You just do this stuff blatantly out in the open and then just say some dumb shit of excuse, and then people will just agree with it. I don't know. Maybe starving them out is what you got to do, and it looks like they are beginning to get starved out because people are worried about the benefits and workers are worried about them paychecks. So the longer this stuff play out, it's only gonna get, worse. I'm more interested in seeing how the American people gonna respond, especially the ones that are directly affected. I wonder how they gonna respond, and then I'm wondering how the government's gonna respond to that response. But I think if you want a good outcome, the American people gonna have the will to actually cause some havoc to get that to respond. So that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I thought it was pretty cool that the people at TSA were starting to call off from work. I think more of them need to. And why waste the little resources you have to go do a job even this moment because they're fighting with each other over a budget of the taxpayers' dollars that's owed to the Federal Reserve. It's been another episode of Random Bullshit. If you like the content, feel free to share it. Yeah, we need to do exactly what's going on in France. Probably 10 times fold. We need to do what's going on in France. But I really don't think the American people had a will to fight. I really don't. I really don't think they got the will to fight. But yeah, what's going on in France needs to be taking place right now. Right now, we should be doing that. Probably tenfold that. Straight taking it to the fucking people that's doing this shit. Because when you inflicting pain on the many to satisfy the few, that should be a red flag to everybody. To everybody. But it's crazy. I don't know how much. I just don't know how much people willing to take. Sometimes I feel like I think people don't even really understand what they going through to an extent. I really don't. It's crazy. Kind of mind-boggling when you think about it, man. For real. But I'm gonna get on out of here. If you like the content, share it, subscribe to the channel. Join the Patreon. I'll put the links in the description to PayPal. If you want to donate to the channel, make a bigger, better Dime Bag TV. Folks.